Okay, hi. This is my third vlog. I have now completed the first 2 weeks of substantive courses in law school, and I thought maybe there was an update required. So, it's going very well. Actually, I think it's going well. Um, what do I say? There's a lot. Let's see, the first day of class, we're doing criminal law and contracts 1. And the first day of class, one teacher said you need to read 40 pages between classes, and the other teacher said you need to read 60 pages between classes, which means 100 pages, which means 200 pages a week, basically. So, had my little heart fall out for a second and panic. But what I'm finding is that we have a couple of members of my class that tend to wander off into tangent land, and it's slowing the teachers down. So I have time to catch up. So that's good. Let's see. I guess it's a lot of reading. And it's not just reading. It's not like you're reading a novel or anything like that. This is like deep dive into the material reading, which is kind of intense. So you don't just have to read it, but you have to brief every case. And apparently some people can do this online, and they're really good about putting it on computer, and it's really fast for them. But I am an old-fashioned learner who needs to feel it kinetically to get it into my brain. But my contracts teacher wants the case briefs on the computer. So it's kind of good because I go through and I write all the notes and I brief the cases and then I put it in the computer. So I'm really learning it in several levels. So that's good. I'm trying to be as thorough as possible. I read very slowly now because of my visual impairment. So I struggle with feeling deficient or stupid because I know that I am maybe slower than most people. And when the teacher calls on me, I tend to go into panic. The first thing in my brain is, oh my God, I can't see. I don't know what she's talking about. But I do. I end up eventually getting there. So, so those are the challenges, I think, is just not panicking about the amount of reading, just staying steady on the course. I am about 1 class behind on my reading, but the teachers are about 2 classes behind in their presentation of the reading, so I'm still okay. But eventually they are going to have to catch up, and I'm going to have to be on target here. So that's my goal by this week, is to totally be caught up, if not a little bit ahead. Because like last week, Tuesday the kids had a doctor's appointment and it went way longer than expected. And then Thursday, from that Tuesday doctor's appointment, they called me and requested that I, on an emergency basis, bring my daughter back in. So that ate my afternoon. And those are my days to study other than the weekend, is Tuesday and Thursday. So I ended up missing a lot of study time. So it's going to happen, and that's life. So that's why I kind of want to get a little ahead so that when life happens, I'm okay and I can boost myself back up. I think I'm saying a lot, and I apologize about that. But class is good. I love my crim teacher. She's so dynamic, and she gets people chatting and does little quizzes and raise your hand if you think this is right. And the one person who doesn't has to state their theory and gets us arguing and talking with one another. I really, really like her. I think she's awesome. My contracts teacher, she's my legal methods teacher, and we're her guinea pig class. I know that. We're her first class. So she's, I think, struggling a little bit. See, the first day of class, she was good. And the second day of class, she phoned it in. Posted up on the website, multiple choice questions, and here, read this. Which is kind of a bummer. And then the third class, she was good. I had to present several pages to start. I got a compliment that she asked about one case brief after the material I'd already presented, and nobody else had it ready. Nobody else, or nobody else was willing to speak. And so she called on a bunch of people, and they all declined. And finally, she said, "Okay, I got to go to my go-to gal." She called my name, so it was a little ego boost. So that was nice. I like being the go-to gal. So now I feel like this huge pressure. I got to keep it up so that when she needs to go to me, I'm there. So it's good. The fourth class, she did an essay quiz. So again, I think she kind of phones in on Thursdays. So hopefully that won't be normal. Maybe she'll get better at this. Trying to think. In general, I think the information is interesting. I have to say, the first time I took criminal law back in 1991, I did not enjoy it at all. I had this teacher who reminded me of someone from the mafia. He was like this Italian guy from Philadelphia, and he's teaching criminal law. And I got kicked out of criminal law a lot because I disagreed with the teacher, and you're not supposed to do that in law school. So this time, however, I'm really reading the material, and I find it very interesting. I did not realize that culpability and criminal intent was actually had so many different dynamics to it. I don't know why I didn't retain that information. I remember a lot of the contracts, so it'll be interesting to see what I remember of the other subjects as we dive into those. And I really, and maybe it's because I have such a great dynamic teacher who finds she's so passionate about it, and she looks like someone I'd hang out in a bar with and have great conversations. So not in a bad, like, seedy bar, but like we could sit over tea or coffee or a beer and just talk for a long time. She'd be really interesting to talk to. So I'm really enjoying criminal law, and that was a surprise to me. Contracts, actually, to some degree, I'm finding boring because I remember so much of it, and it's like, yeah, okay. So that's good, I guess. And let's see, we're trying to form study group. One person has not shown a couple of times, and it's hard to get some of these people to commit. I think there's a level of, there's one other person I found who's taken it as intense as I am and really wants to extract what he can out of this experience. And then there's a couple of people who are phoning it in, and a couple of people wanting to have their hands held through this experience. And do not hold my hand. I'm walking forward and taking it. So give me the information and let me go. Let me take it and move on. So I think that's one of the challenges for me personally on a personal level is I really enjoy this and am enjoying learning and reawakening this part of me. But I have to be careful not to give it up, not to join with people who just want to extract the information from me, but actually have something to offer back. So we have an exchange. I'm a little curious as to whether the one person I am showing up in the study group is as serious about this as I am. He was saying something like, well, I think I'm just going to read the Horn books. The Horn books are kind of like Cliff Notes. And he said, I think that has all the information I need. Yeah, no. So not if we do it right, and not if we want to fly through the baby bar next June. So a little worried about joining a study group with him. We have great personal rapport, and he seems like a really nice, funny guy. We've kind of talked about our intentions, and we seem to be on the same page, but I don't know. So we'll wait and see. There's another guy, he and I are emailing questions back and forth to each other, and I think he's a little more serious actually about it. So I just invited him today to join our study group, and we'll see what he says. If not, maybe I'll just kind of keep relationships with both of them and give and take what we all need from each other, and just have an open exchange of ideas. I'm finding two other things personally that I find interesting about myself. One, it seems to be bringing out that type A monster, and anybody who went to college with me knows what I mean. I am a little bit of a perfectionist, and I study really hard. And when I go to class, I want to be prepared and I want to get the information out of the class. And there's people in my class, there's always someone, right, in the class who raises their hand and asks the teacher something that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. And they go on and on and on these tangents, and they're really annoying. We only have 15 weeks to extract this information and to get it and to hold on to it to take to the baby bar in June. Do not waste my time. We are not here to hear you talk. So you can see I'm getting all passionate about it. I need to calm down. There's a type A monster, I think, being unleashed in me. I have to harness the type A monster. This is a little challenging for me because I'm paying for this and I want to do well. And there's two people, one who's constantly going, is this going to be on the test? Okay, we're in law school. We're in graduate school. I don't care if it's online. I don't care if it's a virtual classroom. Nobody's holding your hand here, sister. Step up or step out. So I have a little problem with that. And then there's another guy, very smart guy. I think he's awesome, but he gets on and he starts talking about tangents. And he goes on and on and on. We don't care. Email the teacher separately. Talk before class. Talk after class. Do not waste my time. Get back on the subject. Move on. So because of these two people in class, we are now behind. So the gratitude is it's okay because I'm probably a little behind and probably some of the other people were, so we're all going to catch up. But all of a sudden now, the criminal law teacher has switched her syllabus to skip some stuff. Well, if that's stuff I needed on the baby bar, pal, I'm a little angry. So hopefully we'll figure it out. But, anyway, so there's one thing is that there's this type A monster. It's kind of rearing its ugly head. And what I'm learning is I need to harness that. The other thing is going back to law schools is reawakening a confidence in me, or maybe it's new. I feel hope again in my life, and without going too deep into detail, I've had a quite difficult last decade, maybe last 15 years, with an abusive bad marriage and an autistic kid and another kid who's got issues. Awesome kids, but they definitely have their challenges, and I'm a single full-time parent of them. Plus I have the visual impairment, and it's hard to fit in and make ends meet. And being the type A person that's in there, I see things very black and white, and I tend to define myself a little bit of failure. Like, dude, you're such a loser because you're not a top executive and you can't make your kids okay, even though they're perfect the way God made them. But you know what I mean? It's like, so going back to law school has given me hope that actually I might one day have a great job again, and I may be able to compensate with visual impairment tools, and I could actually build a retirement and maybe have savings again, and maybe even be able to afford to help my kids go to college a little bit. And there's this undefined, hopeful future that I didn't have before. So that's making me feel good. That's making me feel confident that I'm not just this loser, frumpy, visually impaired mom of special needs kids. I am a law student. And when you tell people that, they go, oh, you're in law school? How do you do that? That aside, whatever. But it's impressive to them. And that's building my confidence again. It's giving me a little seedling, a little sapling of hope that's growing. And when the teacher calls me the go-to gal, it nurtures the little sapling a little bit. So it's nice to feel this different dynamic and this different hope, and it's changing the trajectory of my future, I think, a little bit, and that feels good. So I think that's basically it for today. There was a lot to update, actually, so I'm glad that I took the time to do this. I still need to get reading. I am not caught up on Crim yet, and I haven't even touched contracts. So I'm going to sign off for now, and I will check in again later. And I guess that's it. I'll see you on the other side. Later.